We are ready to start the fourth quarter. Dartmouth on top of Yale, 22-16, along with Dave Long and Jamie Staten and our WMUR production crew. I'm Eric Freed. We've had a good one here in Hanover. Homecoming game, 1998, and it has not disappointed. Yale was up 3-0 after one quarter. We were tied at 9 at halftime. Dartmouth leads 22-16 as Yale looks at a 3rd down and 13 play to start quarter number 4, and Dartmouth shows blitz. Now they back off. Wallen to throw. The lefty delivers to an open man who drops the football. Jake Borden, check that, Jake Fuller, the other Jake, dropped it.
Wasn't that a movie? Wasn't that a movie with Jack Nicholson?
The Two Jakes?
The Two Jakes? Maybe. I know there was Big Jake. That was John Wayne.
I know it was Jake and the Fat Man.
It was that too.
4th down coming up for Yale. Down by 6. Returns have been very good for Dartmouth here today, so keep an eye on that man, Tom Reeser. Repchek gets it away. This is a very short punt. Reeser wants everybody to get away from it.
Dangerous.
It's going to die right at the 40-yard line, and that's probably what Yale should have done last time. Just get away from that football, let it roll to where it wants to stop.
Well, that was dangerous because the people going back for Dartmouth to block, the ball was behind them. It wasn't in front of them, and those are the kind, when you get to that area to block, you stop, and they could get hit from behind. So they were lucky that, and I think it was Reeser who was telling people with communication to get out of the way. So that's a good job of communicating on the field by the quarterback on the field in that situation.
1st and 10 at the 40. Bell home. Trouble in the backfield, and they're going to throw the flag for a holding penalty, probably on Caleb Moore.
That was a nice job by Jeff Hockenbrock. He just turned it in. He just took 2 steps up. They used to call it, you do your 2 steps in box and force him inside. That's exactly what he did. And then in the attempt to block him, Moore, I think, held him.
It's great to go out.
Holding, offense, 10 yards. Repeat 1.
It's great to go outside at halftime. Such a beautiful day out here. There's such a beautiful scene. And you look down in the stands, and I've never seen so much green. Green shirts, green hats, green sweaters, green pants in one place.
I got to get one of those sweatshirts.
1st down and 24. Coffee to throw. Looking for Young. His 3rd catch of the day, gets it out to the 33-yard line. So when you face a 1st down and 24, take 3 small steps to get that 1st down. Don't need to get it all back at one shot.
It was also a good job by Adam Young to carve out territory. There were 2 white shirts in his area. They knew the ball was coming to him, but what he did was he spread his body out almost like a box out in basketball, and we know he used to be a basketball player, to create an area so the ball could get in there and keep the defenders away.
Coffee out of the shotgun on 2nd down and long. Gives it inside to Bellholm, and he gets out to about the 36, a little short of that.
It was a good job of holding on to the ball because there were 2 white shirt arms on that ball as he was trying to gain yards and hold on to the ball at the same time. There's the handoff. It's the draw off of the shotgun. Watch right there, the right arm. He's fighting to hold on to the football in 2 different places and pick up some yardage. Not much, though.
3rd down and 15. Coffee in trouble. Coffee goes down. Yale came into the game with 15 sacks this year. 10 last week against Holy Cross, but they have shown an ability to get to the quarterback. That time Coffee went down.
I would say for the most part, though, the protection hasn't been too bad.
It has been good. Eli Kelly with the hit.
Isn't that a perfect name to go to Yale?
I think you have to go to the home of the Eli.
I bet his father's an alum.
Schlobaum gets it away. Now Tomic is going to get far away from this one, and they're going to let it roll down to the 26-yard line. So Yale will take over after a punt. There is a flag down, so let's hold on 1 second. Could that be the culprit right there? Let's see what the call is as the officials will talk things over.
Now there's an unusual first name. I've been meaning to mention this all throughout the course of the game. Van Merrill. the first time I've ever seen that as a first name.
Could be a hold on Mr. Merrill.
Only time I've ever
First down! From the post scrimmage.
Only time I've ever seen that name is when it was a preposition. A preposition or?
Oh, don't start.
Don't start.
Don't start with me. My father's watching down in Connecticut. The English major and newspaper editor would probably edged up on his couch right now to make sure I got it right. I don't want to even risk that. So at the 16-yard line, Yale will set up 1st and 10.
Well, it's not so much that I want to put you in a bad spot. I don't want to embarrass myself, so I'm not going to.
So you want to embarrass me? That's good teamwork.
I'm trying to get out of it.
1st down and 10. The pitch to Bartholomew, nothing doing. Loss of 1. Dartmouth has done a fine job against number 34. Came in with a total this year of over 400 yards rushing, 402 yards through 4 games, 140 yards against Brown, 70 yards against UConn, 102 against Colgate, 91 against Holy Cross, and today 12 carries, negative 11 yards. 12 carries, 11 yards. We have Jason Kemp up here in the booth helping us out. We got to get our sign language down a little bit better, but 11 yards, that's a pretty good day. Hold him down to that. That's by far his lowest total so far.
I'm surprised we haven't seen Phillips. He ran very effectively in the first half. He had 41 yards and really was the difference in their scoring drive.
Wallen will run. There's a flag thrown, probably a holding penalty against Yale. As we wait for the officials to make the call, we'll send it back to our WMUR studios and another update with Jason. Northeastern, a very, very much improved football team over the last couple of years.
Yeah,
and
Barry Gallup has just done a terrific job.
Fantastic job, really. And
it's nice to see because he's one of the nicest guys around. But I tell you, after, I was surprised. First couple of times I did a Northeastern UNH game a couple of years back to open the season, and I didn't realize how long that winning streak. UNH had won like 22, 23 years in a row, and it's completely turned around since that day.
Northeastern going for their 2nd win this year against UNH. Big hole. Here's Phillips. Called for him. Got the football and got Yale out of trouble after the holding penalty pushed them back close to their own goal line.
Not a call I would make, but it certainly worked very well. Actually, it's a draw. I was thinking it was a quick hitter, but there's just room. The line, for some reason, seems to be blocking better today when Phillips is in the ball game. He's just a hard, straight-ahead runner. Reminds me of Ed Podolak.
3rd down and 8. Wallen will give on 3rd down and long, and Bartholomew, he's going to want to forget this Dartmouth game, because right now Dartmouth has had his number all day long. The defense doing a fine job against the 2nd leading rusher in the Ivy League.
It's interesting. I mean, do you think a defense would let down a little bit? They were so keen to stop Bartholomew. He goes out of the ball game. They lose that little bit of a motivational edge. I don't know. But it's been clearly Phillips doing a much better job running. Has just had more room to run when he's been in the ball game.
4th down and 5, and it's punt formation for Yale and Moravchek. Down by 6 with 10:20 clock running left to go, 4th quarter. Oh, it's a fake. He throws wide open. 1st down for Yale and much more out towards midfield.
Great call.
Reeser with the tackle inside the 50-yard line, but Moravchek with the big play.
I mean, if that doesn't work, we're sitting there going, that's a bad call, because the risk is huge. They're on the 23-yard line or something like that, and right from the right-hand side of your screen, it's just a little open area. Nobody sees him going out, and he just takes it up the field for a big run. Garcia.
Leroy Garcia is the man there, so a 1st down off the fake punt. Big play.
And Reeser's the last guy there to make the tackle. Otherwise, he's still running down the sideline.
Phillips, no letdown on this play. He's stopped by Steve Barney.
I'll tell you, though, that was a huge gamble, because if that doesn't work and they don't get the 1st down, Dartmouth is in field goal position, and if they get the field goal now, the way the score is, they pick up the 2 extra points they need. It becomes a 9-point game, and then they need 2 scores. So we saw that a couple of weeks ago in Plymouth when Plymouth faked the punt. Brett Bartolini was the faked the punt on his own call, gets tackled, they don't get it, and put the opponent right in field goal range for what would have been the winning score.
Wallens, Dartmouth had this one in their sights from the snap. So looked like a reverse was coming, and they stopped Wallen right away as they had to disrupt that play quickly.
So I guess I got to be consistent. As I said, it was a crazy move in Plymouth, and it was a big risk here, but it certainly worked. There's the swarm of the green, and it was designed as a little bit of a misdirection. It was a fake on that same reverse play that went for the long pass earlier in the second half.
Taking a while for Yale to get this play in. The play clock is down to 8 seconds right now as they get up to the line of scrimmage. Wallen may have to burn a timeout unless this ball snapped quickly. Down to 1. Just got it off. Throwing, complete. Hadn't heard from Marshner in a while, but now Marshner has heard from the Dartmouth defense. Stepping up is Brad Verber to make the pop. Well short of a first down. Are you in 4-down territory with 8:16 to play? Clock running.
I don't think so. Look at the hit by Verber. He's just right there. No separation. One step. Boom. Takes Marshner down. And Marshner's a big guy, so that was a big hit by the cornerback, Brad Verber. I don't think, Eric, there's plenty of time with 8 minutes to go. This position in the field, I think you got to punt it.
Nope, they're going to do it again. Another fake, and it 2 in a row. When have you ever seen that? This could go all the way. Brought down at the 12-yard line. Have you ever seen back-to-back fake punts? If they're going to do it at the 20, why not do it at the 50? And that's what they do. Yale completes it. Peter Mazza, the linebacker, needless to say, that's his first reception of the year.
Look at how open he is. There's nobody in the field at all of vision, and he's got plenty of room. Reeser is the only guy who saw it coming, and he can't make the tackle.
He got by Reeser. I thought there was trouble, but good pursuit by the rest of the Big Green special teams. A 38-yard play. 2 fake punts.
It becomes...
Think Jack Sidlecki wants to win this game?
And it becomes, it's even more unlikely to happen on the second time, so you're right, why not do it?
But they did it a little differently. Instead of using somebody from the end, they used Mazza, who is calling the snap count as the back in front of Moravchik. Unbelievable. And the Dartmouth defense forced them to 3 plays and a fake punt the last time, and the defense comes up and hits them for a loss of about 4.
Maybe they ought to just let them gain some yards and forget about playing. They're 3 for 3, Yale, on 4th down conversions. Big hit right in the middle.
The single-digit guys are playing really well today. Rogers we saw earlier, Varney, Verber. Rogers, of course, has been really battling injury throughout most of the season, and
Varney seems like
him during the game. Kyle's out there now.
Varney seems like he's in every play.
Wallen to throw, looking end zone for Marshall. Oh, another single digit comes up with a big play. Verber.
Excellent technique once again. Remember, that's the play where he got called, and it's the same exact pattern where he got called on the interference in the 3rd period. He uses the left arm to swat it away, and he just keeps his right arm off the shoulder this time, and the timing is just perfect. That is an outstanding play.
I think Marshall thought he had a touchdown. It was thrown on the money, and big play. So you look into the eyes of Brad Verber. This defense certainly has held its own here today, and again, they're put to the test here on 3rd down and 13.
Yale ought to just go to punt formation. They get more yards that way.
Wallen to throw out of the shotgun. Trouble! Gets out of it momentarily. Oh, he's still on his feet. Trying to turn the corner. Now he's stopped at the 20.
He stepped out of bounds.
He was dead to rights in the backfield, and Dartmouth kept pursuing. It's going to end up as a loss of about 4, but you can see how exciting of a player Wallen can be.
This was going to be a 20-yard loss. There's Varney again, just comes right up the middle on the blitz. Can't wrap him up. Thought he had him a second time. How Wallen gets out of that one, I don't know. And then he's got the speed to get around the corner. This is the scary part, because the people, the cornerbacks did a good job. They stayed on their man, and they let the other people up close try and put it away.
A 38-yard field goal attempt, we think, from Moravchik. The last 2 times in kick formation, they faked it. This one is put down. The kick is up, and the kick is good, and that's 3 points on the board for Yale. They draw within a field goal now with 6:25 left to go in the 4th quarter. What a ball game. Dartmouth 22, Yale 19. Back to Memorial Field right after this. Downtown Hanover turns into Midtown Manhattan on homecoming weekend here in the Upper Valley. Beautiful colors, maybe a little past peak, but still some great colors up through here. Dartmouth 22, Yale 19. Dave and I were just talking during the commercial. This has been a fantastic game. I think of all the things, the big kick returns and punt returns and the turnovers, and what a fantastic game. And 2 fake punts by Yale leads to 3 points. They're down by 3, 22-19.
Think they'll onside kick?
Yeah, hey, there's no telling right now. Moravchik will kick a line drive. That's a free ball. Fall on it, which is what Dartmouth does at the 34.
That was a smart play. Tendency is to try and pick up the ball. It was Adam Young who got hit in the shins with it. He just went after it and covered it up.
Moravchik kicked 3 field goals last week against Holy Cross. That tied a school record. Of course, that was his 4th field goal of the day, so that's a new Yale record. 4 field goals for Mike Moravchik.
And the missed extra points come into play now because the game can be tied up with a field goal, which gives Yale a chance to get it into overtime if it plays out that way.
Dartmouth needs first downs here. Eric Davis back in there. The give is to Jeremiah White. The fullback gets about a yard.
I think they need a score here, to be honest with you, because I think quarterbacks like Wallen are very dangerous at the end of the game. When people start giving a little bit more of a cushion, you play prevents, you put the game more in his hands. He can run and he can throw, and I think he can eat up yardage. So I think they need another score to make him a little less dangerous.
Second down and 9. Davis, nothing doing there. You don't want to get into a prevent offense at this point.
Yeah.
But it's a very in-between kind of time. 5.5 minutes to go in the game that you can see that this game is almost over, but you only have a 3-point lead, and that's a world of time.
And they move, it's a hard call. Do they go conservative and rely on the defense, or do they just play the way they had played during the course of the game? The thing with this team is, for Dartmouth, they seem to play better when they are on offense when they're on the other side of the 50. They're not nearly as effective when they're in their own territory.
Third down and 9. Coffey will pass. Big pass play here. Coffey will go down. The 16th sack of the season for the Yale defense, second today, and it's 3 very quick plays and out for Dartmouth, and that defense is going to come back onto the field, and they're going to have to dig deep.
And I'll tell you, Eric, the only quarter that Yale has outscored opponents all through the year is in the 4th quarter. You mentioned it earlier, where they've got some late scores against Brown and in the other ball games against Colgate, but they seem to be a team perhaps that plays better at that stage of the game, so that's something to keep an eye on as well.
Schlobaum gets it away. Tomic now will signal a fair catch. I think somebody talked to him on the sideline, don't you?
I'm surprised he's in the game, to be honest with you. Usually if you make those kind of mistakes, you earn a seat on the bench during that particular kind of play, at least until the next week.
41-yard punt by Schlobaum, and the Yale offense comes onto the field. This drive will start at the Yale 26-yard line. That Dartmouth defense that has made play after play here today is going to be put to the test at least one more time here this afternoon.
I think we're going to see hurry-up offense, no huddle offense, and we're going to see 3 wide receivers, and the offense is going to be opened up for Yale.
First and 10 at the 26. Wallen, option pitch out to Phillips. Has some room, trying to make the play develop. Gets about 3 yards. Second and 7 coming up, but first we go down to the sidelines and Jamie Staten.
The elusive Yale quarterback Ben Barnett is the key to this drive. Dartmouth's defense got a good tongue lashing on the bench when they came off the field last time, not because of the 2 fake punts, but because they're not making plays when they get into the backfield. You can thank Barnett for that one, guys.
Gain of about 4, and now a pass attempt. Trouble. Wallen, they're saying he was sacked at the 19-yard line. Adam Kane got back there and sacked Joe Wallen. A big play for Dartmouth, and Wallen is hurt.
I think by trying to stay up and throw the ball, he exposed his leg, and it got landed on. Watch how close he is to the ground when he throws the ball. And just speed coming around the corner by Kane. Twisted the knee, and he clearly was down.
Yale is going to take a timeout. This will give Wallen a chance to clear the cobwebs a little bit. You see him talking to the coaching staff over on the far sidelines. They want to make sure he's okay, but they certainly need him in there with a big third down play coming up.
Well, the big thing is his wheels. If he can't run and isn't as mobile as he has been because of the injury, that's going to make a major difference in what Yale can do offensively.
There is one place, Dave, where fantasies do come true. Fantasy Island. Tonight at 9, a husband gives his wife the opportunity to have her fantasy come true, which is to be the belle of the ball. Mr. Rourke grants everyone's fantasy tonight at 9 here on New Hampshire's WMUR TV, ABC 9. So Walland, with little doubt, of course, comes out. Twisted knee and all for a third down and 17 play. They need to get across the 37-yard line for a first down. Walland the pass with time, throws, incomplete. Threw it for Jake Fuller, and the ball was probably within 5-10 yards of Jake as he turned around to look for it, and it went off his fingertips.
Fuller seemed that he wasn't expecting the ball, because if there's a hesitation on his part when it comes out of the break, and his head was kind of looking down at the ground rather than watching the quarterback, and I think that's why he was late breaking on the ball to try and catch it.
Bad snap, but no rush on, and a bad punt by Moravchik. This is probably the turning point of the football game right here. With 3:23 to go, a three-point game. A bad snap leads to a bad punt and good field position for Dartmouth. And Yale is down to 2 timeouts. That could be key.
Just a bad snap. Pretty good job of catching it, picking it up off the ground. Doesn't have a lot of time to get rid of it, and he kicks it off the side of his foot in his haste.
19-yard punt out to the 38-yard line. So
this is where
a big break for Dartmouth.
This is where this team is very good. They capitalize when the mistake happens in their end of the field.
Coffey gives the bell home, breaks one tackle, tries to break a second, gain of maybe a yard. Clock running, 3:13 left to go.
They need about 20 yards.
Wouldn't Szynski like a chance at a field goal to at least make the cushion 6 points and make Yale score a touchdown to do anything? Szynski has missed 2 point-after attempts today.
Be interesting to see how he reacts after the difficulties he's had if he gets the chance.
Coffey will keep it himself. This is designed to be a run, and he's not going to run very far. Gain of only about 1.5 yards. Bring up a third down play, and Yale will burn its second timeout.
Good play by Scott Benton. He just stayed home, stayed in that area along the left-hand side of the field or the near side of the field. And he made Coffey go inside, and that let the pursuit catch up to him.
Well, we're going to keep it here during this Yale timeout to give Coach Dave Long a chance. I'm sure there are a few other coaches sitting in this big crowd here today who will have their idea what to do here on 3rd down and 8 with a 3-point lead with 2:39 left to go in the 4th quarter.
Well, if they don't, they probably have a chance to burn about 60 seconds off the clock if they don't pass the ball. If they are going to pass, I'm guessing everybody's expecting screen because it's a nice conservative play. Would they take a page out of the book of Yale and fake something very conservative and go for a shot at the end zone? Of course, that would wouldn't take very much time off the clock and probably would make them go for it on 4th down because they're not in position. But I think if you'd surprise them, because they tend to be a conservative team, you might surprise them with some kind of a fake on a conservative play and then try a shot at the end zone.
Big play here. 3rd down and a long 8 at the 36-yard line of Yale. Dartmouth with a 3-point lead. Bellholm, the only running back. He gets the call, trying to make something out of nothing. Yale stops him after a gain of a yard, and they will not take a timeout here. They're going to keep one in the bank. And now Dartmouth may think about taking a timeout. Let the clock run down as far as it can.
If I'm Dartmouth, I don't take a timeout. I want to save them in case I've got to come back up the field the other way.
You're out of field goal range. It would be a 52-yard field goal attempt. And they're going to have to go for it here on 4th down and 7.
And it doesn't matter if you pass because the clock is going to stop anyway on the change of possession until they get the chains ready to go.
Down to 3 seconds on the play clock, so they're just going to let this run out. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty for delay of game, and they'll bring Schlobaum and the punting unit onto the field.
Kind of a risky move in terms of Schlobaum. We'll have to see. He did a great job of coffin cornering kick on his one opportunity, and as we've seen, he is a terrific kicker, so it gives him a little bit more room to work with. I know one thing, if I was going to throw a pass on 4th down, it was not going to be out in the flat. It was going to be into the middle of the field. So in case it gets picked off, you're not handing somebody a score.
Schlobaum will try to angle this one, try to bury Yale deep, make them go just about the full length of the field. Heading towards the right corner. Great punt. It's going to be inside the 10-yard line. Let's see where that official stops. Oh, he's stopping at the 6.
That's generous.
Fine job by Schlobaum. I agree. A little generous on the spot, but Dartmouth will certainly take it. Let's see if Yale can take it all the way down the field. Quickly, while we have a second, let's head down to the sidelines and Jamie Staten.
You know, injuries are so important, Eric. You don't want to have injuries on a football team. You really don't want to have them on the cheerleading squad either. Amy Stone from Austin, Texas. What happened?
We're working on pyramids this year, and I was on top of a 12-foot pyramid and fell, unfortunately, but we still managed to get the pyramid up this week.
You have to tough it out in the game of football. She'll be back for the Harvard game, Eric.
Wallen scrambling on 1st down with a good run to get them out of immediate danger. They were at the 6-yard line.
Wayne Schlobaum is a great punter. I didn't get a chance to say that. I mean, not only does he kick it for distance, he kicks it for placement. He's my new favorite player because he really could dictate how this team is able to play defense and play the game.
Clock stopped, 1:40 to go. 2nd down and 5. Wallen throwing and complete. Enough for a 1st down. Pass complete to the tight end, Brian Scharf.
They've got to get it to at least the 30-yard line, I think, because I think that's the outside range.
That would be a 47-yard field goal attempt, and that is probably right at the range for Moravchek, who's kicked 4 field goals today, the longest being 38. 4 for 4. 1st and 10. Wallen throwing outside and complete. Man got open. In between 2 Dartmouth defenders, Jake Fuller found a spot, and it's another 1st down. They moved the chains, and more importantly, stopped the clock. They picked up back-to-back 1st downs on back-to-back plays and taking only 10 seconds off the clock.
It's a nice throw into this little triangle right there of defenders. He's got to get it over the front line and down low, and that's what he did. Very nice throw by Wallen.
Steve Varney, the junior from Acton, Massachusetts, who's had a fine game here today, is down, and the Dartmouth trainers go out to attend to him.
I think he got hit on a blind shot because he was the front guy in that little triangle of defenders I was talking about. He was the person they had to throw it over the top in the zone. And as the ball was being caught, he looked to be fine. So he must have got hit on a blind shot as he turned to react to the ball.
He'll come off the field. Yale is already up at the line, ready to go.
Dartmouth not making any changes with defenders in terms of guys who are more specialists on the pass receiving end. They're staying with the same guys on defense at linebacker and in the backfield as they were before.
Wallen throws out, complete to Jake Borden at the 41-yard line. The clock continues to run. Yale with 1 timeout remaining, trailing by 3. 1:13 left to go now in the 4th quarter. Yale trying to at least get in the field goal range and force overtime. Joe Wallen, the quarterback, out of the shotgun, throws, complete. His tight end Scharf gets out of bounds. That's going to be a yard short of a 1st down, however, and bring up a 3rd down in 1 play.
Yeah, he was too conscious of the sidelines. He's got to be conscious of where the 1st down is, although in his defense, I think he was losing his balance, and in an effort to he knew he was going down and not getting the 1st down, so he dove to get out of bounds and stop the clock.
Wallen has been very effective on this drive. Has not thrown an incomplete pass yet. Now will pick up the 1st down, slide across the 50. That will stop the clock as they move the chains, and Yale will get back up quickly and get under center.
Dartmouth not really playing any kind of a prevent. They've got 4 guys on the rush. They're playing zone out there like they've done all game long. The offensive line pushes the pass rushes to the outside, create a little funnel up front, and it was almost a quarterback draw.
Here comes the blitz. Wallen gets it away, complete to Sharp, who's down inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. That's enough for another Yale first down. This drive that started at their own 6-yard line has been impressive so far. They're trying to march into field goal range, down by 3 with 41 seconds left to go. Yale left with 1 timeout. First and 10 from the Dartmouth 39-yard line. Wallen calls signals. Out of the shotgun again. With time. Steps up. Looking for it all. Throwing deep downfield and incomplete. No flag as Jake Borden went for it. Brad Eisler was back there on the coverage. Eisler with 3 interceptions this season.
You know, that's
Tough man to throw against.
Not going to show up in the scorebook, but that was a pretty pass. Borden really wasn't open. He was behind Eisler, but he puts it up in the air and lets him run under it and says, this guy's got the speed, he knows where he's going, and he almost connects on it. But that was a textbook way to throw the ball when you're throwing deep.
Second down and 10. Wallen looking short again, across the middle, has his man Marshner is hit. He can't get out of bounds, and the clock will continue to run. He's hit back behind the line of scrimmage, and Yale will use their final timeout.
That's a big play. The clock is still running, by the way.
It's down to 7 seconds.
They called it at 13 seconds, I think.
They're going to put more time on the clock, but what a big play by the Dartmouth defense. As Marshner had the ball, he was driven backwards, and just the time he took to try to get yardage after the initial hit brought more time off the clock.
Sometimes you just got to go down. But in any situation, I mean, they were down under 20 seconds. He's got to fight to get out of bounds, or they've got to use that timeout. But the fact is, they prevented them from getting any kind of yardage. I think they'd been better off, rather than throw the underneath pass, if there's no room to run, throw it incomplete, spike it down so you stop the clock, because they can't afford completed passes that don't get them to the 30. They got to buy time for plays, not completed passes that don't go anywhere.
There's the key statistic right there. That forced Yale to take their final timeout. So Yale without a timeout. They put 4 seconds back on the clock, so 11 seconds are left.
They either got to go sideline or a shot at the end zone, because they cannot throw the ball in the middle of the field. Well, let's put it this way. We've seen them fake punts on 2 times inside their 50 on back-to-back plays, so they're likely to do anything. But if they throw it in the middle of the field, he's got to have whoever catches it a lot of running room, because he's got to score.
What a drive by Yale. Started at their own 6-yard line. This will be the 10th play at the drive.
This is the time I go up high, Eric, to one of the big receivers. Use your advantage on the sideline.
Third down and 11. 11 seconds left to go in the 4th. Dartmouth leads by 3. Wallen to pass. Throws it up big. Floating up in the air and complete. Down to the 6-yard line with 3 seconds now, 2 seconds left to go. They will stop the clock to move the chains.
They're not going to be able to get it off, though.
They stopped the clock to move the chains. There's now a 0 on the clock. Now they're going to have to talk things over, because the official now starts the clock. They get Moravchek out there. Once again, before the play is started, they indicate that the clock should not stop. Now they lift the ball up. That means the game is over. Dartmouth has won.
What a game.
The Yale players don't want to admit to it yet. There are still some officials out there. Most of the crew has headed off to the locker room, and now everyone else will go. The Yale players seemed a little stunned. Marshner with the catch down at the 5.
I think they have a point. The first down was made. He hit the ground at 3. That means the clock has got to stop. Now, I don't think Yale's going to have a chance to be able to get the kicking team on and get the ball off by the time they have a chance to kick it, or by the time the clock starts again. But I think they've got a point that the clock shouldn't have run out.
Well, Yale, the coaching staff, too, walking around with a stunned look. Jackson Leckie has his arms folded at the far side of the field, rubs his head. Let's watch this sequence once again. This is the pass by Wallen to Marshner. Big floater. I'm
thinking Gerald Phelan all the way on this one as it goes in there. Watch, a couple of guys had it. Bynum is there. He was playing center field, and to be honest with you, when he caught it, I thought it was at the goal line, not the 5, and I'm going, oh gosh, here goes his score.
They shake hands at midfield, and It's a happy homecoming. What a thrilling win for Dartmouth, their first win in the Ivy League. And let's go down to the field to one of the heroes standing by with Jamie Staten.
Well, you have that right, Eric. One of the heroes is the quarterback, Mike Coffey. Touchdown run, 2 touchdown passes. You had a great game. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You've been under some scrutiny lately. Dartmouth off to a 1-3 start. Quarterback is always blamed, but you hung in there and you faced the pressure well.
Yeah, I mean, we got some great field position on some turnovers. I mean, the thing with us is we were capitalizing today. I mean, we weren't going on long drives at all, but I mean, when we got the chance, we put it in, and that was good to see.
The end of the game there, suspense to say the least.
Yeah, I was over hugging one of my offensive linemen, just barely looking at it, and I tell you what, that's tough. I'd hate to be them, but I'd like to be us right now.
Run off the field, you take this one.
Yeah, definitely take this one. Just get out of here as fast as we can.
Mike Coffey, congratulations. Way to hang in there and have a great game. So that's quarterback Mike Coffey. Now on the defensive side of the ball, boy, what a big game for Brad Verber. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Talk about the end of the game there. Now that was something to behold on defense, I would imagine, to be out there.
Yeah, it was sort of chaotic out there, getting the calls in and the wristband checks in there. The last play, I mean, they just threw it up for the 6'6" receiver, and he came down with it, but luckily we got a good clock manager up there.
Nice to have the clock on your side, I guess.
Yeah, it's always an advantage playing at home, especially on homecoming.
Yale has not beaten you guys now for 9 straight years, but that is a statistic that doesn't really show today because they played very well.
Yeah, they got a real tough team this year, and they came out and won their first game of the year, and been playing off of that ever since. But, you know, they got a great offense out there with real good quarterback. He's a good athlete. You know, they just made plays when they had to.
And you guys don't give up.
Yeah, it's a big game for us. I mean, we had to win this one to stay in the Ivy race, and, you know, each game we got to play like it's our last.
Brad Verber, clearly one of the MVPs today. Congratulations, and also the clock manager and MVP today, guys.
Well, you know, I like Brad. He tells it like it is, huh? 22-19 Dartmouth. We have plenty more to get to. We'll have more from the field and wrap this one up. It's a win for Dartmouth on homecoming by 3. We'll be back to Hanover right after this. I think Brad put it the right way. I mean, it was very chaotic at the end of that game, and certainly there were 3 seconds left on the clock when he went down and was tackled, and they were indicating for the clock to stop. You would think they would have at least enough time to snap the ball and try to spike it. They were trying to get the field goal unit out there to try to make a kick as time expired, but they never had a chance to snap the football. And I think that time, the sand went through the hourglass pretty quickly if you're a Yale fan right there.
I'd like to see the official's explanation for it. As I understand the rule, the clock should have been stopped. I don't think it would have changed the outcome of the game, because I don't think because it's get the sticks up there and then the clock starts again. I don't think the field goal unit could have gotten position to get off the kick in that to get the snap off within the 2 seconds. But I don't think as I understand it, I think the clock should have stopped.
Well, we're going to take a look at that play in a minute, but first we want to see what John Gibbs thought about it. He's down on the field with Jamie Staten. Jamie.
All right, here's the helmet of a Warrior. Look at all the scratches. There's even a little blue paint there from, I would imagine, a Yale football helmet. You have a headache?
No, the other guy's supposed to have it.
John Gibbs on the field for the crazy play there at the end. Your heart had to leap out of your chest, but it worked out all right.
Oh, yeah. You're looking at the clock. You clearly ran out of time, and we saw it. You know, we'd rather not go down that way, but it did, and it fell our way, and we're thankful for it. But I got to believe that if it went in overtime, we would have come away with that too, though.
All right, 1-1 in the Ivy Leagues. You run the table the rest of the way. You could be Ancient 8 champions, so that's where your focus is, right?
To be honest, I mean, our focus is really Cornell. I mean, that's the only game left on our schedule as far as we're concerned. It does make the day a little worthwhile at the end when the Ivy League title is still up, but Cornell's the only game left on our schedule.
John, a Warrior at middle linebacker. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, sir.
Hey, middle linebackers, big, tough defensive guys, not supposed to have girlfriends, but I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Everybody loves John Gibbs. Why not?
Thank you very much, Jamie, and congratulations to you, John. It's always good as a senior to win your game as a senior on homecoming, because look at all the people. They've all come out of the stands, and it looks like they've all gone onto the field right now to offer their congratulations, and some are heading to the exits right now. A lot of smiles here from those wearing green as Dartmouth has pulled out a 22-19 win. You know, there are easily, you could count a dozen plays in this game that you haven't seen every week. Some big kick returns, some interceptions, the back-to-back fake punts for first downs. I mean, there's really so much today. And fittingly enough, our Citizens Bank Not Your Typical Play of the Game comes on the final play of the game, what turns out to be the final play of the game. John Gibbs seems pretty sure the time had run out, but we don't know for sure. But here it is, the final play.
Casey Bynum is playing center field. He's number 41, but he mistimes his jump. And then they go to the big guy. They throw it up top, the jump ball, and it's a terrific catch. But Reeser and I'm not even sure who that is. The other, Iser, making the catch.
Right,
2
Iser,
seconds right there, or 3 seconds on the clock. And as I said, that's a first down. Clock should have stopped, but it rolled through. As Brad Verber said, to paraphrase him, it's great to have the timekeeper on your side.
Well, for the record, the timekeeper is an independent arbiter, I guess.
Yeah.
And if you're wondering, if it's Alfred Mazzacchina from Medfield, Massachusetts, who was there today. So I'm sure a couple of Christmas cards will come his way from big Green fans. But it was a chaotic ending, but a fantastic finish to this one as Dartmouth pulls it out 22-19. Jamie had talked to Mike Coffey, who had such a great day out there, had the touchdown run and the touchdown pass to Ferrara and the touchdown pass to Concord's Adam Young. Really a big day, and hugs all around for the big teddy bear of a linebacker, John Gibbs.
Should go back for a second and take a look at those keys to the game.
You know, I was going to say, Dave, you are a prophet today more than any other week.
Well, I mean, the story is pretty much the same for these guys. It has been all through the course of the year because, as Mike Coffey said, we're not stringing those 80-yard drives along, so we need field positions and we need the big plays on defense and special team, and they capitalized on them. And to me,